Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 8th episode of the R Words podcast, a podcast where we don't only try to speak intellectually with a funny twist. We also play this game where each one of us has to randomly generate a word starting with the R. During conversation, each one of us has to try and implement this word 3 times without the other person noticing, and the first person to achieve this will win the episode and get a point added to the tally. But there's a twist. Each one of us has a challenge flag, and during conversation, if you feel like you know the other person's word, you just throw the challenge flag and you check the word. If you're correct, the other person won't be able to win. If you're not correct, the game just continues.
There we go.
Okay, that took some...
It was a little bit of a struggle.
Yeah.
Just woke up, so.
Just woke up. I don't know, and could be a funny compilation, I think, if we put these...
Do we have all of the...
No, but I did it.
Sometimes we restart everything.
Yeah, I did like 2 in this take, so
also, I don't know if you noticed, but the cadence was the exact same. Like... On the recording software, you see the spikes,
the
waves, right? And for yours, it was the exact same shape for the same 3 beginnings, because you do like
but I think that
exactly like that.
Like this. I think that comes from either teaching or hospitality work, because especially during like concert days, I do the same set of words, like phrases, every night for 12 nights almost in a row, so that like it just becomes like just a thing that I say all the time without changing, and kind of just at one point I can do it super fast, as you heard.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to work out whether it was faster than the last time, but
I think it was, because I did a last big part. I mean, you guys will see it in the edit if I was faster or not. Something we implemented in the last episode, something we're going to keep implementing in the next few episodes, because it's fun, I think. Yeah. I made... Oh, wait, before we start, so the new score after last episode is 3-1 for you, right?
We're on the 8th episode.
Yeah. I think
there's been 7. I think it's 4-1.
No, I think there were...
Because there's been 7 episodes, and for 2 of them, no one won.
Don't you think it was 3 episodes without...
I think it was 2.
2?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's either 3-1 or 4-1. If you guys wonder, like right now, if this is your first episode you're watching and you're wondering, hey, how is it possible that it's like 3-1, 4-1, and we're already at episode 7? Then the first thing I would like to say is like, you fucking twat, why are you watching at the 8th episode?
It's true.
Do you fucking start a book halfway? The fuck is your problem? Go to the first episode. Actually, go to the pilot episode.
Well, some people they start in the middle of things.
Sure. Star Wars does that,
example. Right? Okay, yeah, that's is true. Shout, they start in the middle of the story, right? But then, did they also release those first?
I think
they did, right?
Yeah.
So then that's an actually good example, right?
Okay, so if you're a Star Wars fan, then don't listen to what I just said.
That's the only excuse.
Also, I made a big mistake last night after we got back home from our shift, because we came home late from our shift and we knew that we had to record early because there was no other time to record, and I did the bad thing of... I did 2 bad things.
Did you eat?
I ate. I ended up cooking some food.
Oh, no.
And eating it, and I ended up staying up to watch the Eagles draft pick.
Hell no.
And they had the last draft pick in that round, so it was quite late.
So how many hours sleep we're talking?
I think I went to bed at like 3:30ish. Woke up around 9:30. So
Damn,
that's
bro.
6 hours.
Honestly, I was expecting worse.
Yeah, right?
But
yeah, so we're quite tired, both of us, because we had a shift last night. And Marco has to finish this podcast really quick, and then has another shift, and then a shift later. So
I start at 1, he starts at 4.
Yeah, so this might be a really fun episode. We'll see what comes out of this.
I have some stuff to talk about.
There we go.
First, I'm going to...
let's generate the word.
And
while Marco is generating his word, this is the moment where I'll tell you guys to subscribe to the... subscribe to... subscribe to the YouTube channel and like every video. Ring the bell to get notified whenever we upload every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Then we also have an Instagram and a TikTok account where we post shorts. And we're also on Spotify where you can like the podcast and rate it 5 stars after finishing an entire episode. Yeah.
I was thinking maybe you should do it in a different accent every episode.
Oh, sure. I'll do it.
Might get a bit cursed after a while, but
Yeah. I mean, we already know how good my Australian accent is, so next episode will be an Australian accent. And while this episode uploads on Wednesday, 12 p.m., I will be sitting in the Italian sun on a terrace drinking a Aperol Spritz, probably.
lucky boy.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to Milan, which I'm excited for because we have nothing planned besides Como, besides just sitting on a terrace eating and drinking, which is, I mean, that's the Italian lifestyle, right? Body is
Pretty much. Right? Like, well, like the whole day, I was gonna say, yeah, like the timings of the day, I would say this is kind of similar to what we were talking about last time, but in some countries that are less food oriented, I feel like their days are oriented around something else.
Yeah, work.
Whether work,
yeah.
or in some countries maybe even exercise or I don't know, other activities. What? Vlogging. Fucking hell, bro. And then they fit their food around that. I feel like in Italy they fit everything around their food.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I'm gonna live the Italian lifestyle for 3 days in Milan, and yeah, I can't wait.
And then you're gonna go to Como as well, right?
Yeah. So I think on the second day we're planning to go to Como, to the lake, to just look around, have some more food, have some more drinks, maybe do like a boat trip, depending on
That sounds good.
yeah, whatever possible, basically. Didn't you
What?
like do the prompt beforehand, or did you forget?
Huh? No, I didn't. That's why it took a bit longer this
there you
time.
go.
Sorry, guys.
Normally Buddy is really quick with this, and then he gets on my ass for being slow.
True. Yeah, but now I won't copy paste the prompt, so then you're fucked. Yeah. Okay.
Oh shit. Okay.
There you go.
Yeppa.
Yeah. Send it.
I was just looking down if you added your word to the list of
I thought about it.
That would have been a brain dad move.
Yeah, true. Well, I mean, I could have trusted that you wouldn't cheat at the same time.
Yeah, sure.
Right. In the fairness of the beautiful game that is the R Words game.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of fans who would be upset with you.
Yeah, those 15 fans that are watching us right now. We fucking love you guys. I'm not gonna lie. So
yeah.
Yeah.
No, what was I gonna say? I was gonna say no, I can't remember now. Whatever, we'll move on.
Oh.
Yeah, I when I woke up, I had a conversation with my girlfriend, and I thought it was pretty interesting. And it was about how, well, one of them I can't remember, and the other one I do. So I'm gonna use the one that I remember.
Good. Clever boy.
Instead of using the one that I don't remember.
Yeah. Imagine us like just sitting here for 3 minutes. Like, what was it? It's on the tip of my tongue. But...
I would hate that shit.
Yeah.
So basically we're talking she's doing this kind of intermittent fasting thing and this kind of thing.
Yeah.
And she's noticed some changes. Like she feels like she's more aware of her body now, which makes sense. As in terms of, she made a distinction between feeling full, like satiated,
yeah,
and feeling bloated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she thinks, and I also think as well, that you feel bloated when you eat a lot of like stodgy like carbs, basically.
Yeah.
Right, like a massive bowl of pasta or like a
what I
load
did last night.
yeah.
Yeah.
Damn. And then she says that she feels a different kind of full when she eats like I don't know, like a meat, veg, and some carbs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then what I was gonna say is that I feel like, and she was also saying that sometimes when she wakes up and does stuff without having eaten, she feels like she has like a clearer mind, you know? And I was saying that maybe this is because, like, from an evolution perspective, right? So,
God damn.
came out of left field for you, did it?
Shit.
Like, if we're, like, I feel like now we're not as used to being hungry anymore.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Because back then it was just like when you're hungry, you need to eat just to like survive.
But also we would
basically.
be hungry a lot more often because food wasn't as abundant in a lot of places, right? And we also had to work for our food.
Yeah.
Right. And almost sometimes I feel like our bodies are evolutionarily behind where our culture has reached. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like they're trying to catch up with all this constant, like, the constant evolution of society versus the evolution of our bodies. Do you get what I mean?
So you're saying our bodies are not evolutionizing.
Evolving.
Evolutionizing, brother. Holy shit. Yeah, evolving as fast as.
I think so, because I think also our culture and the stuff that we have in our life is evolving faster by the day. You know what I mean? It's kind of like an exponential thing, like tech, for example.
Yeah.
But this wasn't even the main point. This was just a sidebar.
God damn.
But the main point that I was saying is that I don't think
I feel bad for your girlfriend. Hearing this in the morning, god damn, bro. Shit.
So I was saying, yeah, I feel like we don't know what it's like to be hungry anymore. And I think that, related to what you said about feeling more clarity of mind, sometimes I felt like, sometimes when I wake up in the morning on like the beginning of the week, I need to go shopping.
Yeah.
And it would have happened before that I wouldn't have had any food. So I would have had to get up and cycle to the shops on an empty stomach.
Yeah.
Cycle back with all the shopping on an empty stomach, right?
Yeah.
And when I was doing this, I never felt like it was like a struggle. And it felt like an animalistic thing, you know, like when, like, it felt like I was working for the food. This is insanely, this is insanely, what's it, dystopian, I guess, right?
Yeah.
The fact that cycling some like fucking 30 minutes is working for food, right?
Mm-hmm.
Compared to before, but it did feel a little bit like that.
Yeah.
And I think that this is also something which affects how it affects the whole process of eating, in my opinion. Like, I think we talked about it before, maybe in person, maybe just in the podcast, but like that when you sit down and you order takeaway and you don't have to put any effort into creating the food or making the food, it's different.
Yeah.
Not just because maybe you feel better about yourself because you made it, but also because I think that you're having to put some form of effort or work, or whether it's mental, whether it's physical, into getting this reward, which is the food, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that this might be something which is kind of embedded into our bodies.
This is happening way too much, I feel like people don't really feel like cooking anymore these days.
Mm-hmm.
There's even like programs now where they'll send you all the ingredients, the exact amount.
I've seen this.
And then you're still cooking, but then I think the whole fun.
But they actually send it all like pre-cut, pre-packaged.
No, not pre-cut. You have to still cut it and everything, but you literally get like half an onion if you need a half an onion.
But this is just shopping.
Basically,
so people don't want to shop anymore.
Yeah. I think people don't want to shop anymore, and people don't want to put effort into cooking anymore, which is sad.
Yeah, I think it's a lost art.
Yeah. I think we need to rekindle the entire flame of like.
I think
the cooking. How do I say that? Art? No, not art.
Yeah, I mean, because I think you can say that in general, if you're cooking something, that it's in general healthier than buying it.
Yeah, right.
Nowadays, I think we can say that, right? But forgetting about the immediate health benefits, right? Forgetting about that, I still think it's also better for, I don't know, in this case, like you'd feel better about yourself and things like this.
And you also see the whole like what goes into making a meal.
Yeah,
And
this is also
and then
true.
next time you go to a restaurant, you don't have to complain about your fucking steak being dry. Try making your own steak, brother.
True, actually. That's true, actually. Maybe if people had some idea of what it's like to try and cook, then they wouldn't. That's also true, yeah.
Yeah.
But then I guess this is the difference, because there's types that go to restaurants and there's types that cook. So the types that go to restaurants are people who have gone to restaurants and haven't cooked. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
It's almost like they're in the category, and because they're in the category, then they haven't cooked. Do you get what I mean? Right?
Yeah.
Because if people have money to go to restaurants all the time, of course, not everyone who goes to a restaurant goes to a restaurant all the time. It can be a one-off thing.
Yeah.
But there are people who kind of go to restaurants a lot more often, right?
Yeah, I could just always tell, like, when people complain, what kind of people they are. Like, they have never, like, I don't know. Like, I feel like if you worked in hospitality before, like actual hospitality, I'm not saying like cafeteria stuff.
But you mean working in a cafeteria, like as a cook?
No, just like, you know how we have here, like the cafeterias with the fry stores and that kind of stuff, right?
For me, cafeteria is like a lunch cafeteria or like a prison cafeteria.
No. Yeah, well, yeah. No, I understand. No, it's more
I know
like,
what you're meaning, though. I don't know what the fuck we can call it, though.
To be fair, like, I think fast food still lies in the hospitality part, because they also have to, like,
Actually, yeah.
I think if you I think we have to split these in like hospitality places where a lot of people complain and where no one complains. Like, no one would complain.
You
at,
think
like, a
you
fry
can
store.
separate them based on complaining?
I think so, yeah. Because that's the whole thing I'm trying to say. Like, if you have experience in like places, hospitality places where a lot of people complain, then what do I say? Then I don't feel like you would complain yourself in a restaurant. If you're not happy with something, you would be able to tell the waiter with a normal tone and like okay guys, you know, this wasn't really good, but like you know, like they would say it like normally. But I can tell when people complain in a certain way that they have never worked in a complain version of hospitality.
But do you think you could also say that they haven't worked in somewhere where they have to deal with complaints full stop? Because hospitality is by no means the only job where you have to deal with people complaining.
Telecom, right?
For example,
exactly,
right?
Yeah.
I can imagine you'd have to be pretty patient in order to stick this out for a while, you know?
Yeah. I would never.
No.
I heard, when was this? I think it was 2 days ago at work. Someone said to me about something about hospitality work, and they were like, yeah, I was thinking about maybe doing another job, maybe just go do telecom because it's way nicer. And me and another guy said, you have no idea what telecom is like. That's such a, like, he was, I think he or she, can't remember who this was like, I'll just do that for a year.
Okay.
I'll give them 2 weeks. That's such a boring, and like, the only thing you literally deal with the entire day is complaints, because who's calling?
Yeah, isn't that the reason why people call?
Yeah, right. You're not calling to tell them like, hey guys, I'm so happy with your services. Could you keep this up, please, for the next couple of months?
I think it's an interesting comparison, actually, because I think there's similarities, but also I feel like the differences would be that, try to picture that you are but this is just how I'm picturing it, but that you are in a cubicle answering a phone for the whole day, right?
Yeah.
Of course, it might not be like this everywhere. This is just what came into my head. You're dealing with complaints all the time, right?
Yeah.
So, negative is that you don't hear anything positive.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Maybe on your break when you're talking to some colleagues or whatever, right? And this is a pro of hospitality, because in hospitality, I'm sure people know, you can have customers complain to you, and the second the waiter turns his back and walks back to his staff, you know that they're fucking bitching about you.
Exactly,
you know?
Exactly, yeah.
Or you know that they're like,
next thing
joking,
you know, they're spitting your food.
No.
No.
So there is some form of positiveness in hospitality if you're working with the right people.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. And also, there's really nice guests as well that
of course, true.
come to the restaurant. I had a nice example yesterday. with a lovely couple wanting
Yeah.
a decorated table, and we were a little too slow on managing that. But I managed to get this guy some sort of dessert with saying like happily in love with a heart and a firework, and he was really happy, and he shook my hand. And so those people are really, I appreciate at work. And I think what I do is with those people, the feeling that I get from those people, I do that times 100. And whenever I get complaints, I try to do it like times 5 or something like that. You know what I mean? Like I let that influence myself times 100 versus the complaints. I don't let it influence
Okay.
myself that much. And
That's a good way to be.
I think that is what a lot of people in hospitality, when they're starting, it's obvious, are missing, and they let those negative
I would
thoughts.
say it's almost flipped for some people.
Exactly, they let those negative thoughts influence them way too much, and then you'll get people crying at the workplace and just
Yeah.
like quitting. Yeah, so yeah. But you were on some sort of role.
Yeah, I was saying, so this is one benefit of hospitality, you could say.
Yeah.
But then I feel like the nature of the complaints is different. Because in hospitality, if normally when someone's complaining to you, there's looking at you in the eye and telling you this fucking sucks or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that when you're listening to it on a phone call, it's different because you don't have to do any pretense in terms of body language.
Yeah, true. You can just be
Right?
like,
You can literally be there like fucking gun on the throat, being like, yeah,
oh no, I'm so
yeah,
sorry that happened to you guys.
you know.
Oh no.
That's crazy.
I will look into it right away. No, I have nothing else to do right now. No. I'm still here. That's fucking crazy. I bet there's hundreds, if not thousands, if not millions of people that do this.
Wow.
Like they
When they're on
they
the phone.
put up this
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
and they're just like they're
Maybe not gone to the throat, but they're sitting there like this, like
yeah
exactly. For sure.
and then they have the fake ass like and then yeah no
Yeah.
the fake
Because
smile.
I mean, in hospitality, you have to do this as well.
Yeah, have you done it before? Like
yeah, of course.
like you don't strike me as the guy that like puts up an act for customers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like you're just like I don't see you as a theater kid, if you know what I mean.
A theater kid.
I think a lot of people like in hospitality that are actually really good at like doing that for a customer are theater kids by heart.
Interesting. For me, always my tactic was to speak very like slowly and like very neutral tone.
Yeah.
Literally, I would say that literally as if I was speaking to a child, right?
Yeah.
In the least patronizing way, right? For example, if you're complaining about something, I'd be like, okay, I understand this. So what we're going to try, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
right?
it's funny.
And one of the reasons I did this is because I don't know if this has happened in this restaurant, but in my last place, sometimes people would complain, and in the interaction with the staff member, they would come away with the feeling that they were being rude.
Yeah.
Okay? Whether the staff member was being rude, whether it was interpretation, who the fuck knows, right?
Yeah.
But so one of the reasons I did this was to make sure that no one could ever say that shit about me. Because you cannot say someone who's talking like that is rude. You know?
True.
Right? But yeah, this is mainly my thing. And this is when this kind of comes full circle that, yeah, I feel like my voice would change in hospitality.
Yeah.
When I was talking to, like, the tone would change when I was talking to customers that were complaining, when I was talking to customers in general, and then when I was talking to staff, it would just go back to like fucking the normal one.
You know what I fucking love is I love it when a customer or a guest in our place is you know that they're wrong and they're just going on like a tangent for a long time, and you know that they're wrong and you just say like yeah, and then you hit them with the yeah, well actually, and like, oh, that fucking gives me life.
See, I never did this. I would just be there like, yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. We're gonna do it, whatever this, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Would you like anything else if they didn't like it? Things like this, and try and sort it out and ask them if they were okay. If it escalated, because one time it did. One time we had these people come in from I think it was a rugby day, and on the rugby days we're really busy because we were next to the stadium.
Uh-huh.
And we would get a lot of people booking like 6 months in advance. They'd come for rugby and then they'd book for the next rugby kind of thing. I guess similar to Rio, I guess, but not the big palaver that we do here. And yeah, there was this table and they wanted stuff that wasn't on the menu. And they asked this new girl, and this new girl I was still kind of training her, and she couldn't speak very good English, right? And I feel like sometimes, actually, there's another sidebar. Sometimes I feel like people in hospitality, they don't realize that they are in complete control over what the person gets and the order.
Yes.
Sometimes
exactly.
people will say, "Oh, do you have Laurent Perrier beer?" Right?
Mm-hmm.
And the person full well knows what beer they have.
Yeah.
They full well know what wine or champagne they have.
Yeah.
And they full know that we don't have anything of the sort.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, "Oh, maybe," and then they'll go ask, right?
Let me check at the bar.
Right? Or the alternative, and this is what I really don't like. In my last place, this has happened a lot. They would be like, "Yeah, sure," and they just write it down, or they would just order it. In my last place, this would be worse because they could write down whatever the fuck they wanted on those tickets. But in our place, we have machines, so if there's no button, they can't order it. But and I feel like sometimes people don't realize that they can just be like, "No." You know, like that's not on the menu.
These are two really good like takes that people should remember in hospitality. Is one, that don't let those negative thoughts rule your day, basically, or affect your day too much. And the second one is that you are working at your place.
You're representing, like,
especially like if you're walking on a terrace, like our terrace, for instance. This is your terrace, and then you are the decider of what is happening on your terrace. And then also, as I think, as soon as you have that feeling, or like the position, like I'm actually running this section, this is my section, I decide what's happening in this section, I think then you have everything controlled. Like if they want to order, they're gonna order. You know, no, that's not what I mean. I mean, like if you want them to order, you go to the table, and not like everyone waving their hand, looking at you, and like, hello, I want to order.
This is a good point.
You decide when they're gonna order, and then also you also decide what your section is gonna look like.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people are missing that as well.
But I think this can go over. I can see this being a delicate balance, because sometimes I feel like people get this notion. Let's say it happens naturally after a while of working. People get this notion of feeling they're in control, and it can go two ways, in my opinion. It can go the way that you're saying, and feeling in control of what happens, and like you're saying. Or I feel like it can go down the route of, this is my terrace. I'm territorial, but also like kind of like an ego thing as well.
Yeah.
Right.
I think I like that better than having someone that is constantly like, oh no, I'll check, and no, I have no clue. And they're like insecure about everything.
This is true because they're at least a bit more independent.
Yeah.
And for you, this is a big thing. They don't have to keep asking you stuff.
Yeah. No, this has nothing to do with me for once. Actually, I don't care. I just want everyone to like be happy and just rekindle the flame of like working in hospitality, because I need a lot of people working at my place so I can just like go on in life. No, this has nothing to do with me.
But so what I was saying, we had this table, and they came in, they ordered with a new girl, and she did the thing where she wrote down what they said. Yeah. And she didn't speak good English. She was very nice, but yeah, at the time she was still pretty new, so she was struggling a bit. And it was a busy day, and so she gave it to the kitchen. The kitchen came to me, and they were like, "The fuck is this?" basically. And I was like, "Okay, I'll go ask."
Just kitchen things.
They wanted like a mix of two different dishes. But it's like the classic when they want half and half, and they don't want to pay for both of them. Mm-hmm. And always in my last place, the policy was, we can give you both, and you're going to pay for both if you want both of them.
Really?
Yeah, we're not going to mix like two different dishes, especially because it was a steak and Dublin Bay prawns. And the Dublin Bay prawns are fresh from Dublin Bay, and they're super duper expensive. Basically, we had them weighted in packages and all this stuff.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
So we're not going to mix like two things and sell it for cheap, especially when each one of the dishes alone costs like €30, you know.
Yeah.
And then I brought the food, and the guy was like, no, hold on a minute, like blah blah blah, saying like now he didn't want it anymore, and he was like, oh, and he was asking me, and I was like, yeah, but then if you want both of them, we're gonna give you both of them, but we're gonna have to charge you for both of them. And he was like, oh, take it all back, and I was like, oh, bro. And then he actually started getting mad and raising his voice. And then at this point, I was just like, yeah, give me a second, I'll just go grab the manager, basically. So this is where I could offload it. If ever it got to the point where people were complaining to the point where they weren't trying to reach a solution, then I would just offload this, because this is not my what I'm supposed to do, you know?
It's above your pay.
in other words, yeah. But then I would get one of the managers, and this is in my last place. This was great because all the managers were like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel, well, actually, there was a mix of managers who would comply with everything the customer said and give them everything they want, and managers who would challenge them. And of course, this comes with control, confidence, how long you've been there, right? But I would love sending this one manager because he would always just rip into them, you know?
That's good.
So I would just peek around the corner, you know, like eating my popcorn, watching him fucking tear into him. But yeah.
I think we also have a healthy mix of both of them at our place. Yeah.
It seems like it, right?
I also just like it that, like, because I hear way too much from other businesses that they have like that managers or owners are just always against their own personnel and just like
this
in
is
favor
the
of the guests.
Because these people who challenge the customers, it feels like they have your back.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Like it feels like they care about their staff.
Exactly.
And obviously, it depends. If someone is actually rude to your staff, then it's a completely separate issue. But yeah, at least from my experience, and I know from other people's experience in my last job as well, that it feels like they have your back, you know?
Yeah. And that also something that makes a lot of people quit hospitality is that those kind of experiences that, like, they're like, yeah, no, my boss was always rude to me, and this happens at every restaurant basically. Yeah, so that's kind of sad. I was gonna go somewhere. I have so many complaint stories that I could talk about, and there's a lot of funny ones. Actually, one of them, like I could go into this one because this is an actual good one. So basically, this was the moment. I think I was still an assistant manager, or maybe no. Actually, I think this was like sometime after or before. I don't know, something in between. So I was walking a section outside, and how did this start? I think I gave a menu to these guests, and they started off with some wine, which to me sort of already tells me that, yeah, okay, you don't really care about the money. Just like, if you're getting wine, I mean, if you're really like about the money, you'll get like a soda, like the cheapest of the cheapest, basically. You don't go straight away for wine. I don't know. I also don't think they got house wine, so. Okay, so they got wine basically.
Wait, but what do you mean? Like,
because
I guess
later on you'll understand.
But I guess this is one thing I've noticed is also in this restaurant, wine isn't as big of a thing.
At our restaurant.
Yeah. In my last place, we had like so many fucking wines, and people ordered wine. Like, the thing was, they sit down, you bring them tap water, and they order drinks.
Yeah.
And they order wine, beer. You know?
Yeah.
But I think it's different with culture, with place. Anyway.
Mm-hmm. But so basically I bring them the menus, and I'm trying to think. I think they ordered their food, and then at one point he goes, we have I think halfway through I think after the starters maybe. He was like, yeah, we have the 3-course deal. I was like, what are you talking about? We don't have a 3-course deal. He's like, yeah, no, it's on your website. I was like,
it's a fucking classic.
I don't think we have it on our website. We also don't have it on our menu, so we don't have it. Basically, I was like, no, we don't have it anymore. It's like, no, it's on your website. It's really strong. It's like repeating your argument that I already said was wrong, just like. Again, I guess.
No.
Is it, no, it's on your website. I was like, no, I'm pretty sure it's not on our website. It's also not in our menu. we don't have it anymore. This was like 4 years ago that we had this. And then guess what he did?
Wow.
No, it was on your website 3 times. That's actually better than the second
It gets
time.
better the more
It gets
times
better
you do
the more you say it. And then so he got a little agitated quite early, which to me made no sense because I was just having a conversation with a guy. And at one point I was like, okay, you know what? If you show me the website, then we can work with this, right? I'm always trying to work with the guests, their complaints, and see what we can do for them. And so Buddy grabs his phone, pulls out this crazy website that looked like Wikipedia, and he was claiming it was our website. Okay, he put up some Wikipedia, like some hospitality Wikipedia, basically.
It would have been one of these, like The Fork or...
No, it was like restaurants.com or something like that, or .nl.
Oh, okay.
It was just like a Wikipedia full of like hospitality stuff. It's like, here, look. And then somewhere in between it says like 3-course menu, 26 euros or something like that.
In what day and age?
No, we had this like 4 years ago. 4 or 5 years ago.
Damn, okay.
And I was like, okay, no, I see. No, this is not our website. This is restaurants.nl. It's like, guess.
But it's on your website.
Exactly. It's on your website. It's like, this is the name of the restaurant, right? This is restaurant. It's like, yeah, but if you go to the URL, I learned, it says restaurants.nl. Our website actually is called, I told him the website. It's like, guess what?
But it's on your website.
It's
it
on
has
your
name
website.
on it.
It has your name on it. Exactly. He kept on saying it. I was like, you know what? Just finish your food, and then we have this conversation a little further. And then I went, and this was so hard for me. This was basically like them testing my patience, because he just kept on repeating his argument the whole time without basically listening to me.
Yeah, without trying to reach a solution that's best for both of you, which is
exactly
the goal for everyone, though.
Yeah. So then I told my cousin, who was then manager at our place, and I told him. He was so confused, like, like, I understand, like, a lot of people go to managers with like complaints, and most of the times it's a little twisted. Like they're not telling the full story because they want to save their sales, basically. But this to him also sounded like he cannot have said like 5 times that this is our website. This is our website.
Did he go and check?
So yeah, he went to the table. This is so funny. He went to the table and was like, "Oh, what's the problem? Yeah, you guys are offering a 3-course menu for 26 euros on your website, and now he's saying that you guys don't have it anymore." It's like, okay, can I check the website? And he saw the wiki. I told him it's some sort of crazy like Wikipedia, like. When you load a page and it's not fully loaded, you see all this like white and like stripes and everything. It's like
it was this,
bro.
Yeah, but this is cursed. Like,
yeah, and basically it was like, oh no, I see. This is not our website. It's actually this. And okay, this was your website. And then he got mad. He got annoyed so quickly. He was like, I could make a website right now about the neighbors. Put a lot of bullshit on there.
True.
And then go sit there and say like, this is your website. Is it still their website? It was like, yeah, no, but you don't get it. This is your website. This is the only fucking argument he kept on giving me.
Damn, bro, he was definitely doing a forfeit or something.
Yeah. And then Jeannot got Jeannot. What the fuck? Okay, well, name dropping. My cousin got so mad that he said, you know what? You're actually ruined this entire dinner for yourself and for your wife over here.
True.
This could have been solved really easily, but you don't really want to like bulge in, basically. So it's gonna leave it at this, and then also other customers around it. They went inside and say like, "Oh, you handled that really nicely," and they were actually really proud of us. And then so they were done with their.
What happened?
They were done with their main course. I took their plates. I said, was everything all right? It was like, didn't really
man,
right?
Yeah.
And then guess what I asked after that?
Dessert. Yeah, 3-course menu.
Exactly.
You know
like,
how it is.
You want to go for dessert? Guess what he said?
What?
He said, buddy, do you really think after this conversation that I would like to go for dessert? Can't you think? He said that, literal words.
Damn, bro.
I was like, actually, that's not really.
But he wanted the 3-course menu.
No, I said like, yeah, that's actually not really nice of you to say.
Should have just thrown it back at him. But I thought you wanted the 3-set menu.
That is something another guy at our place would do. So yeah, that was like one of the my best moments in hospitality complaint
It's
wise.
pretty funny.
Yeah. Oh shit, that was so funny. And like afterwards, we were laughing so hard about this guy, and then about like, this is like one of those people that like they're in a relationship, but they have nothing to say at home. So
Actually, what was the age range? What are we talking?
but he was over 50.
Oh, okay. Makes sense, yeah.
So
This is what I had pictured as well, but I was just
yeah,
checking.
this was so funny. It was,
What, you think this is the highlight of his week for his marriage? Is that what you're saying?
if he had won the argument, yes.
I think it probably still is the highlight of his week now.
In an altered
Most
universe,
interesting thing
he
that
won
happened.
he won the argument.
By what? Just saying?
Yeah,
But it's on your website.
goes home and says, "I won this discussion by only using one sentence."
I think-
and here's how that happened. Made a YouTube video
Yeah.
about it.
I think he was doing a forfeit. Maybe he got challenged to do this by some friends, you know?
Maybe.
And then the challenge was to, like we do, say the same
Breaking the fourth wall.
phrase enough times and win.
Is this you going at something?
No, it's the same as us. No, we have
Yeah.
to say a word a couple
maybe
of
that
times.
maybe that was his way of rekindling the flame
Maybe
of their relationship.
this is where the Our Words podcast was born.
On the 3 years ago on a terrace.
Yeah.
Damn, that's
Yeah.
crazy. Holy shit! Oh goddamn, that was funny. Yeah, the complaints stories always get me going.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like in the moment it's always like super frustrating, and also you feel this kind of rush, like adrenaline rush.
What are you talking about?
Do you not have that feeling like when people actually go like get so mad and angry and that you're trying to like stay still and calm and you get this adrenaline
You get
rush?
like this fucking hit to your veins?
Tap it right here, buddy. Here.
No?
No, for me, this is like every time people do this kind of stuff, I get like some sort of like adrenaline
No,
rush.
bro. You got a demon in there trying to jump out and kill them.
Yeah. And then when everything's over and everything's settled, or like not settled, and they just leave, I just go to the back and I'm just like punching the
Yeah,
fucking
all the
bag.
stuff,
Like,
yeah.
Oh, it's so fucking. And me, my cousin, and another friend used to do that all the time. Where we go to the hallway and we just like fake punch each other and like
Yeah, I
fake
can
slap
see
each other.
sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's so funny. I don't know if I have other complaint stories.
Then I always think like, what the fuck actually has to go? What kind of life do you have to live, and what kind of shit has to happen for you to be in this situation where you do this? Do you get what I mean?
It's neglect of goddamn. No, yeah, I think it has. There could be a psychological reason behind this,
I mean, there always is,
right?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, with everything, there's a psychological reason behind it.
but
But
like, I don't know, like,
it has also to do with, I think, people not working in hospitality. Because have you ever complained at a place before,
no,
or just what you would say is a complaint? Because
but I'm very vanilla in that.
okay.
Unless it ruins my fucking day, I'll just eat it. You get what I mean?
Yeah, I
Although
once,
there's never also been a major fuck up when I've been to a restaurant, you know?
yeah, I mean, I have.
But even if there's
different-
let's say if I ask for a burger without tomato and there's tomato in it, buddy,
You
I'll
just
just
take
take
the
the
tomato,
fucking
yeah,
tomato
exactly,
off.
yeah,
I'm not gonna
yeah.
make a scene about it,
Yeah,
you know?
exactly, yeah. No,
It's exactly what they would have done, you know?
exactly. They just bring it to the kitchen and they.
Yeah, exactly.
No, once I was at a restaurant with my entire family and we ordered food and we asked because this was like one of those places up in north, and basically you don't get fries or you don't get a side with your main course, which here it's more common to do that within the
Okay.
price. So we were like, okay, how big are these portions of fries? And we're like, yeah, these are definitely like share options. So
Oh, here
with
we
two of you
go.
guys, and then we did that, and we had like loads of steaks and everything. Then the share option fries came in, and they were literally the sizes that we have at our place, just like normal sizes for one person.
Mm-hmm.
And then my steak actually came last after 20 minutes of everyone else getting their fucking food.
Yeah.
So I was just sitting there, and my girlfriend was saying like, go say something about it. I was like, no, it's probably coming later. Don't worry, I'll eat later. And then I think after 25 minutes, the owner came to me, who was actually a famous Dutch person.
Yeah.
He came to me. He was like, yeah, sorry, they made a mistake in the kitchen. I will get it for you guys as soon as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And it's off the bill. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And would you like a drink on the house for me? I was like, you know what? While you're here, give me an amaretto sour.
Yeah, I was about to say.
But like those kind of situations, I try to stay like calm and like, I mean, when those kind of things are the solution, basically, then everything's settled for me. Then it's like everything's neutral again. Like I get a free meal, I get a free drink. Fuck it, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
And then also we ended up tipping them, which a lot of people wouldn't do because they didn't get their food on time. But they had a perfect solution.
This is always for me. Like kind of like a feel good moment, or like an indicator that like to keep me like balanced in terms of like feeling like annoyed or or done with it or whatever, you know, was when there'd be a table that would complain, and I'd put in a shift to make sure that everything else was fine and that it was sorted, and then they tip in the end. This was like fuck, I know I've saved it, you know.
And once, but
then the absolute fucking worst is when you have a table that complains about something that's not even that deep. You solve it for them, you fucking lick their ass, you fucking do everything for them, you give them loads of shit, and at the end they're still like in a pout, like in a mood, like a little 5-year-old, and they don't, it's not even about the tip, it's just about the fact that you know that they didn't appreciate anything that you actually tried to do in order to make their dining experience better, you know. This burns. Like it's fucking annoying. But
I once also I was in Malaga, and we went to some sort of like a beach club thing, and we got also food. And at the beginning, this guy was such a nice waiter. He like helped us with making our decisions. He was actually quite decent in English, which you don't always see in Spain.
Mm-hmm.
And we were gonna go for 2 steaks, like one for my girlfriend, one for me. It was like, actually the steaks are quite big. I would suggest you guys to share it. I was like, oh, nice, like a waiter that actually cares about his guests and like helps them, you know.
Have you seen the meme where it's it's Patrick from SpongeBob, and then there's the plug in his brain, and then it clicks in? Do you remember I sent you a meme which was like, bro, when the math teacher starts talking about probabilities, he likes gambling, and then the plug goes in the brain, and it's like, this is your mind when you're like, ding, you mean 2 for 1?
Oh shit. Yeah, so basically we went with the one portion because he said it was quite big. So then we got our starters and everything was all right. And after the starters, they took away the plates. It was like an hour passed, and I was like, something feels off here because there's no steak on our table yet. And then I was checking, and my girlfriend was like, maybe you should ask. No, maybe it's taking a little bit more time because it's a big steak, and maybe This
is always me as well when I'm with my family.
Yeah.
And my mom will be like, oh, but it's been like an hour, and I'm like, it's been like 10 minutes, bro. You know.
In hospitality, it's 10 minutes. And then basically, after 1.5 hours, I looked at him, like I was checking where he's going, and he looked at me, and no. This is the face of a person that forgot to put an order in. Oh my god, I remember that face everywhere. No, he was like this. It was like, that face is painful. And basically, I was like, like this, and then the steak came after 50 minutes after that, and I'm not sure if I got like an apology or no. I don't think so. No, we didn't get an apology because afterwards I told him, because if he would have at that point bring the steak and said like, okay guys, sorry, I'm so sorry, I fucked up. No, but they just brought the steak and we ate it. It was kind of lukewarm, so it was not nice at all. And also this was a portion that I would devour in 5 minutes,
especially if you've been waiting that long.
Yeah. So we ate the steak. And then I opted to pay right away, and It's like, I don't want to bother you with this afterwards, but it took us quite some time to get the steaks. And then he was like, yeah, no, I'm sorry. And then he like started to like do this.
I feel like he thought he got away with it.
Yeah,
But
right?
no,
Yeah.
he definitely knew.
It's like, buddy, I'm actually the CEO of hospitality.
Like, he definitely knew that you knew, but
Yeah,
he kind of
yeah.
thought that there was a chance that you would get
Yeah,
away
yeah.
with it, probably.
And so I didn't tip him. And then also the steak was lukewarm, but we were hungry, so we wanted to eat. So I was like, yeah, sorry. And he couldn't do anything for us. So and then I looked at the bill, and then also they have this thing where they put like
Service charge?
no, those soup things, those sticks. What's it called?
Breadsticks?
Breadsticks. Yeah, breadsticks on the table, and we ate them because we were hungry.
And they charge
They
you for
fucking
them.
charge
Yeah,
us for that.
Yeah,
like
they
they
do.
see, as soon as you touch it, a fucking device goes off in their fucking system or something that like adds like ding 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 like all the breadsticks
It's
of the
like
world.
what's it called? A cover charge or something
Yeah,
like this?
yeah.
It's like water, bread, this kind of stuff.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
it was bullshit. So afterwards we went to McDonald's.
They do this in a lot of places.
Yeah, we went to McDonald's and had some more food there. And but to be fair, it was super cheap. We had like I think in total we had maybe 4 cocktails, 2 starters, 1 steak, and the breadsticks for around 50 euros.
Yeah.
So
It's a different life now.
yeah. So that's
This is always also a bad indicator, at least for me. If ever in my old place people would ask to pay straight after finishing their main course,
Mm.
I'd be like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
What the fuck happened here, you know?
yeah.
Like, not even letting the plates be taken away or anything, you know?
Yeah, that's also something that people need to start doing. Like taking like if they want to pay, don't pay right away. Just take their plates first and then go
This used
pay.
to drive one of my managers crazy. He used to
Yeah.
go fucking ape shit when
It's
people
driving
didn't,
us crazy
when
right
people
now.
wanted to pay before the plates were gone because we hadn't cleared them, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah. But like, I feel like, do you think you could create like a meter, right? Of how much the person is enjoying their time, right? And let's say that I would say, to be honest, that it's not a fair meter, because you can have a group of 4 friends going for dinner and they're going to be laughing and joking basically regardless, unless you literally like fucking murder them, right? Or you can have the classic old couple who comes in who's like married. Well, the stereotype is that the marriage is like on the brink of collapse.
Yeah.
You know, the like everything's fucking going wrong and they're itching for something, you know, to find a tiny thing.
This much
right?
will take them
So
over the edge.
their meter of enjoyment is already at 0, and you would have to literally like fucking oil them up for them to go up a tiny bit. Okay.
Yeah.
Whereas the group of 4 people, I feel like they're gonna enjoy, their meter would go up like faster, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like it's almost like a balance, because I feel like if people are enjoying themselves talking and whatever, some shit can go wrong and it might go down a bit. But then if nothing else happens, the rest goes smooth, it'll go back up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but this leads into like another thing that has to be done in hospitality is like you have to change the way you approach a table depending on like who's sitting there. Like if it's a group of guys, like, hey guys, what are we doing? Like, having drinks, blah, 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 blah. And if you go to an old people, you have to be like super formal, like putting the plates straight and everything, and basically like treating them like you're a fucking jester.
And then
kind of
you
thing.
wait, because sometimes there'll be old guys who are fucking hilarious and they'll make a joke, right?
Yeah.
And then you can start joking with them a little bit, but very reserved. But with the like group of 4 guys, you can basically do whatever the fuck you want.
Exactly.
Like you can go like, "What's up, guys? Like, what do you want, bro?" And it'll be fine, you know.
Yesterday I had a guy from Belgium,
yeah,
and he because we had a lot of English-speaking people waitering yesterday, and he started speaking English with me with the most broken English accent ever, and I just like I was listening like this, nodding my head. I was like, and then in Dutch I said like, "Yeah, I'll get this for you, guy." And he was like, "Holy shit, you're Dutch!" And that's like the best moment. I always try.
I feel
to
like this
wait
happens a lot.
Yeah, it's so funny.
It's different though, because some people, it feels either they're oblivious to the fact that all the servers they've had are English, or they just want to speak in Dutch, which is completely understandable, right? Into your language, right? Or they do this and they assume that everyone speaks English, and I wonder what goes on there. You know what I mean?
I mean, if you're
because I don't think it's a confidence thing, because this guy, I would say, wasn't fully confident in his English and was more confident in Dutch.
Yeah, the thing is that I think he already ordered 3 rounds in English, Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 8th episode of the R Words podcast, a podcast where we don't only start. What? No. Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the R Words podcast. No, what? 8th. Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 8th episode of the R Words podcast, a podcast where we don't only try to speak intellectually with a funny twist. We also play this game where each one of us has to randomly generate a word starting with the R. During conversation, each one of us has to try and implement this word 3 times without the other person noticing, and the first person to achieve this will win the episode and get a point added to the tally. But there's a twist. Each one of us has a challenge flag, and during conversation, if you feel like you know the other person's word, you just throw the challenge flag and you check the word. If you're correct, the other person won't be able to win. If you're not correct, the game just continues.
There we go.
Okay, that took some...
It was a little bit of a struggle.
Yeah.
Just woke up, so.
Just woke up. I don't know, and could be a funny compilation, I think, if we put these...
Do we have all of the...
No, but I did it.
Sometimes we restart everything.
Yeah, I did like 2 in this take, so
also, I don't know if you noticed, but the cadence was the exact same. Like, on the recording software, you see the spikes,
the
waves, right? And for yours, it was the exact same shape for the same 3 beginnings, because you do like
yeah, but I think that
exactly like that.
I think that comes from either teaching or hospitality work, because especially during like concert days, I do the same set of words, like phrases, every night for 12 nights almost in a row, so that like it just becomes like just a thing that I say all the time without changing, and kind of just at one point I can do it super fast, as you heard.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to work out whether it was faster than the last time, but
I think it was, because I did a last big part. I mean, you guys will see it in the edit if I was faster or not. Something we implemented in the last episode. Something we're going to keep implementing in the next few episodes, because it's fun, I think. Yeah. I made... Oh, wait, before we start. So the new score after last episode is 3-1 for you, right?
We're on the 8th episode.
Yeah. I think
there's been 7. I think it's 4-1.
No, I think there were...
Because there's been 7 episodes, and for 2 of them, no one won.
Don't you think it was 3 episodes without...
I think it was 2.
2?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's either 3-1 or 4-1. If you guys wonder, like right now, if this is your first episode you're watching and you're wondering, hey, how is it possible that it's like 3-1, 4-1, and we're already at episode 7? Then the first thing I would say is like, you fucking twat, why are you watching at the 8th episode?
It's true.
Do you fucking start a book halfway? The fuck is your problem? Go to the first episode. Actually, go to the pilot episode.
Well, some people they start in the middle of things.
Sure. Star Wars does that,
example. Right? Okay, yeah, this is true. They start in the middle of the story, right? But then, did they also release those first?
I think
they did, right?
Yeah.
So then that's an actually good example, right?
Okay, so if you're a Star Wars fan, then